Welcome to That Lady Heather. I'm so excited that you joined me. We are going to be talking about Below Deck today. Below Deck Season 12, Episode 1. So I've got my studio coming, my indoor studio. I have a backdrop and all these things coming. But I thought until then, why not take it to the beach? We're talking about Below Deck after all. So what better place? There's waves. There's boats behind me. What a great place to talk about Below Deck. Let's get into it, you guys. So it starts off. This season, we're in St. Martin, which is kind of a cool place. The intro starts with us in London, however, which is kind of a cool way to do the intro. What do you guys think of this new production? I say new production. I don't even know if it's a new production or not, a new production company or not. I think it's a new production style. Let's say it that way, a new production style. So far, I really like it. The new elements seem to be breaking the fourth wall, which is awesome. I really like the meetings that they're having, not just like heads of department meeting, but they're including the other staff. I think that will make for interesting dynamics. I hope they continue with that. We'll see. So let's begin. We started off in London and we meet Frasier, who I'm so happy Frasier is back. I love Frasier from last season and the season before. I think Frasier's been in it 3 years as Chief Stew. So he's our Chief Stew. Then we meet Celine. Now, I need to apologize in advance if I get names mixed up. Hopefully, you'll know who I'm talking about. I know I have trouble pronouncing names, and I also have trouble at the beginning of, particularly Below Deck, remembering people's names because with Below Deck, you have basically a new cast almost every time. So it's a few episodes before I get to remember their names. So if I mix up names, hopefully you can still follow along and know who I'm talking about. Anyway, so we meet Celine. She's the French girl who really likes porn star drink, which to me is gross, but whatever. I'm not drinking it. Now, she confesses right away that she is a baby stew with no experience. And it's interesting because later on in the episode, she gets into this weird power struggle dynamic with the other stew, who also has very limited and no experience, but it's kind of a power struggle. So I think that'll be fun to watch. People who think they know what they're doing or know they don't know what they're doing, but still don't want to listen to other people. I love that. That's reality gold right there. So we meet her and then we meet our bosun. And this is the name that I have trouble pronouncing the most. So I'm going to say Kyle, but I know that that's not right. So I apologize. So we meet him. He has a background in civil engineering and he has awesome hair. And he also seems like he's maybe a little bit nervous, but we'll see. Then Rainbow comes in and she explains that her name is really long. It is really long, but like if I told you my first, middle, and last name, that would be long too. Her first name sounds like it's Bodine, and I don't know why Bodine is so hard to say. Rainbow it is, and I don't care. It's not my name. Call yourself what you want. And I love them. I honestly, the reason why I mention it is because I really like her real name. I love the name Bodine, and it's so unique. But whatever. Her name is Rainbow. Then we meet Barbara, who is the other stew. And now she is the one who has the power dynamic with Celine. Soline. So that should be an interesting dynamic. And the power, not only is it a power dynamic problem, there's a lost in translation problem. And though lost in translation problems are also very enjoyable to watch. We learn that from any type of misunderstanding. Shout out Three's Company for those of you who remember what that is. The whole show was based on misunderstandings. And then we meet Kyle. Kyle's back. Kyle was one of my favorites. He was on last season. I think he's only been on one season of Below Deck. He hooked up with that girl Barbie. And it sounds like they dated for a while, but they are no longer together. So Kyle is single, which is fantastic. Him and Frasier had like a makeout last season, so that was exciting. So it'll be nice to have those two together. He's the Scottish guy, which, my background is Scottish, so I'm partial to that. So then they talk about Barbara being gay and Frasier being gay, and then the editing is hilarious because in walks Jess, who is also gay, and it tells us later on in the episode, but it seems like gender on this crew won't matter. Everybody seems to be very fluid, which is exciting, and I can't wait to watch. I think it's bravo, bravo to Bravo for bringing on a chef who is a born again Christian with anger problems, because that'll be a fun dynamic to watch. Now, that is with the stipulation that this guy can last. It sounds like he might not make it through. I mean, even to the next episode, he might not make it. We might tune in next week and watch this guy get fired in scene one, which will be interesting to see. So we all meet each other. What do you guys think of where they're meeting? I thought it was pretty cool that instead of meeting on the boat, they're meeting in sort of a nightclub setting. I think it takes away from this like formal kind of, there's always a hierarchy of power in Below Deck. And when they start off on the boat, that you feel that tension right away. So now that they're in a nightclub setting, we're sort of starting off where they like to party and kind of those rules don't matter as much. So I think it's an interesting dynamic to start there and then move towards the tension of the hierarchy of who's in charge of who and the inner dynamics of a working environment. The beauty of Below Deck is you get a working environment and you get all of these single people who want to socialize, and it's all together on one boat. And there's Upper Deck and Below Deck, which is very much like shout out to Downton Abbey, where so you've got your customers who live above deck. They're doing their thing. We don't follow them along too much, but you still get enough of like how crazy, how crazy the other class live from them. So that dynamic is all set up. I really like that they met at a bar, though. I think it's interesting. We'll see how things go from here, but I thought it was a nice way to meet each other. If you watch Below Deck with Serena, that just finished, when she first met her sous chef, they met each other on the boat. And then Serena, I don't know that she's had a sous chef before. I'm sure she's been a sous chef before, but I don't know if she's had a leadership position before. So her first instinct was to basically interview the guy. And I think when they set off with that kind of dynamic, you're not going to have a successful outcome. I mean, the reality TV show side of it might be fun to watch and everything else, but if we're like wanting this guy to actually be a sous, maybe like interviewing him while he already has the job might not be the way to go. That could just be me. I think starting off in a cool social environment leads to better team building experience. And I think team building is really important, especially for any kind of job that you have. But when we're filming a reality TV show that's with people who have to work together, live together, and play together, I think you want to get a team dynamic going right from the beginning if you can. So that's what's happening there. We meet the chef. He comes in. He seems like a nice guy. He seems like he's had a lot of struggles in his life. He has been dealing. Oh, there's a seal in the ocean behind me. Oh, that's fun. Anyway, sorry, I'm distracted by the water and the ocean life. Very Below Deck. Anyway, so he seems to have a bit of a troubled past, say. He has anger issues, addiction issues, and then he found God, and now he's a born again Christian, which with all of the sexual fluidity on board, and now we have a born again, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Also, if this guy lasts. So, and this is, I think, the first time we start breaking the fourth wall is when we're talking to the chef, because he's really nervous about being filmed. He seems to me like the kind of guy that maybe isn't familiar with Bravo. He definitely doesn't seem like he has watched Below Deck before. He's definitely uncomfortable being filmed, or at least he says he's uncomfortable being filmed. He seems natural on camera, but he's uncomfortable being filmed at the same time as having the pressure of, sorry, I messed up my microphone there, having the pressure of, cooking to that high level in a kitchen where half the stuff is like barely working. But let's face it. I mean, I've been in the hospitality industry my whole life. There is no perfect kitchen. I mean, things break, things happen. This is part of just the hospitality industry. So, chefs out there, I'm sure you got to roll with the punches a little bit. Maybe not in a two-star Michelin environment. Maybe things are pretty like, on point for that. But any other restaurant environment I've been in, and I've even been in like fine dining restaurants environments that things are constantly hitting the fan. So, everybody needs to take a deep breath, realize we're just serving food. Even if it's fancy food, it's still just food and it's going to be okay. But this guy, so his food looks awesome too. Like he really doesn't have a reason to be nervous. But especially when you've got God on your side, right? Come on. Anyway, so then we meet the next deckhand whose name I think is Damo. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Again, sorry. Um, he seems like a nice guy. We didn't really get into meeting him too deep. Then we go back to the boat. It talks about the boat stuff that could come up in the season. There's a bridge. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not super into the like boat stuff, but I do like that it's there because my husband will watch this show. He doesn't watch all the shows on Bravo with me. Like I could never get him to watch an episode of Housewives from anywhere, but he will watch Below Deck because of the boats. So I'm in it for that stuff. And I will try and like talk about boat stuff as much as I can, but I don't know anything about boat stuff. The bridge might be hard. We look forward to seeing what happens there. Then everybody gets their uniforms and they go to the cabins, which is also kind of interesting because typically they meet on the boat, but because they've already met, you basically just get your big bag of uniform and off to pick whatever cabin you want. So they already kind of know each other, which is kind of nice. So Jess is cabining with Rainbow. Lawrence and Cairo are cabining together, which is like the chef and the bosun. And Rainbow and Jess are the lead deckhand and the second stew. So their power dynamics are all the same. Kyle and Damo are rooming together, and Barbara and Celine. So right now, Barbara and Celine seem to have the most tension, and the fact that they're rooming together could be interesting. I mean, I have no doubts that Barbara and Jess will hook up. It seems to me like they're going to hook up. My predictions are that. I'm going to throw in predictions while I talk because that's what I'm going to do. The order comes in, and everybody's freaking out about how much stuff it is. Well, not everybody. The chef is freaking out about how much stuff it is and where he's going to put everything. He's looking at the camera. He's talking to the camera. He's asking the camera to not film certain things. I mean, since Denise Richards, we haven't seen anybody interact with the camera in hopes to not be filmed so much. So I love that they're including it all. Way to go, Bravo. And I kind of feel like if they didn't include it all, they might not have a storyline with this guy because I have a feeling this guy, I could be wrong. I know nothing. This guy could be out on the first scene of the next episode, but we'll see. But I mean, that Damo guy, we didn't talk about him, and I know nothing about him. I wonder if they could have gone into his storyline a little bit more. You guys, there's deer on the beach now. There's seals in the background, and now I have deer on the beach. When I'm finished this, I'll flip it around to show you guys. Actually, should I pause? I wish I could pause. I'm not set up yet. Bear with me. Follow my channel and like along. This is my first time doing this. So there are going to be bumps along the way. I've been watching Bravo forever and I've been watching everybody else's recaps forever. So I decided to do my own, but I'm in the middle of sort of setting everything up. So, and I don't know what I'm doing. This is my first time doing it. So I really want to show you these baby deer. Hopefully they'll come into our frame. Anyway, let's carry on. So he's freaking out. He's talking to the cameras. The order's coming in. I have a feeling in restaurant land, the first order is your biggest order and nobody knows where to put anything. So it's kind of just what you have to do. You just have to roll with the punches. And this guy doesn't seem so great at rolling with the punches, although his food looks amazing. I'm going to say that. So meet Jess. She wants to talk. She loves the boating industry. She wants to be a captain one day. Um, she seems to be pretty interested in all of the stews, especially the stews who don't speak English, which is or not speak another language as well as English. I shouldn't say don't speak English. That's not fair. Speak a different language or a language in addition to English. These deer are watching my YouTube channel right now. I must be doing an okay job. I've got deer watching me. I wonder if I can flip this camera around. I'm going to pause and try and flip it around to show you guys, and then I'll come back in. Do you see them? This is what's happening in the background. You see them? Yeah, there's baby deer and there's seals also. I don't know if you'll see those guys though. Anyway, back to reality shows. Okay, let me get back into position. Oh my goodness. I had to show you guys. I had to. There's two baby deer walking by. How can I not show you? I hope you saw the seal too, although I don't see his head anymore, so I don't know if you did or not. Okay. So Jess wants to be a captain and she's into all of the stews, which is awesome. And that'll be a fun dating environment. The chef is buried in stuff and he can't find his radio. Kyle is saying nice things about Captain Carey, and I like to see that. And then the tension starts between the two stews. So Frasier asks Barbara to show Celine how to roll a towel. And then Celine is like, why are you showing me this? I know how to roll a towel. No, she's not even. I don't know how to roll a towel. I just don't want you to show me how because you come across in a certain kind of way. And I think that it's going to be an interesting dynamic. I think there's a little bit lost in translation there. But I also think that Celine just doesn't really want to be told what to do. And Barbara seems lovely. And really, she's just trying to get her job done. She's just being direct and trying to get stuff done. And the other one, Celine, is a little bit more interested in I don't know what, but not getting the job done, whatever it is besides getting the job done. So that'll be funny. And she's saying that she has lots to do. Well, I have lots to do too. And everybody has lots to do. That's why it's easier if you work together as a team. We meet Rainbow. She talks about her siblings, 24, 25, 26, and 27. When she said that, all I could think of is your poor mother. She must have been pregnant for like 4 years. Anyway, time to meet the guests. Time to meet the guests. And these guests like to bring a black light with them, which is the best. So we're reviewing the preference sheets. And they've done this a little bit differently this year too, which I kind of love. Instead of meeting just with the heads of department, you see the meeting of the head of department, and then you also see Frazier talking to his team about it, and you see the bosun talking to the deckies about it. So I think that's kind of an interesting dynamic. I like the way they've cut that together and changed that up a bit. I like when does things a little bit differently. I like the Bravo formula, but when they mix it up, it's always, I don't know, it just makes it more interesting. So they've done that this year for sure. Okay, so we're reviewing the charter guests, and these people are germaphobes who like their steak extra well done. Not just well done, extra well done. And he mentions it over and over and over again. And honestly, if you're into black lights and well done steaks, I don't know if you're the kind of people I want to hang out with, but you're the kind of people I want to serve. I like picky people. I'm a people pleaser, so I like to, live up to people's standards and then be praised for it. So, and this guy seems like he's really easy to, they're very nice. They're very kind people. I feel like he'd be really easy to please. You give him a well done steak in a clean room, and this guy will say nice things to you. So, but they can't do that here on Below Deck. We haven't actually met the guests. We just know that these are their preferences. They do an update for Kyle and Barbie, who I liked watching last season, but I'm really glad that Kyle, to be honest with you, I can't even really remember who Barbie is. So I'm glad that Kyle came in single. I think it'll be way more fun to watch a single Kyle rather than a Kyle in a relationship with Barbie. So I'm excited about that. Damo thinks everybody's a babe and calls everybody a babe. Who's a babe? You're a babe. I'm a babe. What else? Selena is freaking out again, is what my notes say. And she doesn't like authority, but she also knows nothing, which is always interesting. Now we make Jess the lead deckhand, which is pretty appropriate. I can see Jess actually becoming the bosun at some point. She's got bosun experience. She seems way more confident than the actual bosun seems. So to me, it wouldn't be all that shocking if Jess becomes the bosun. The people I think that are going to be fired are, I think it's going to start or quit. I think we're going to say goodbye to the chef first, and I think that we will be saying goodbye to the bosun next. And then I think maybe Celine, the baby stew. Now, Celine the baby stew is excellent TV. So will Bravo fire excellent TV even if she sucks at like being a chief or being a stew? I don't think so. I think they'll keep the good TV person around, whether she's good, bad, or indifferent at being a stew. So we'll see what happens then. But you can't have a chef. Well, and the chef is, anyway. stay tuned. It's coming towards the end. Okay, so Jess is made lead deckhand, and Rainbow is made second stew, and Rainbow is super happy about second stew being second stew, which I find is hilarious because she is going to be so dropped in the middle of the power struggle between Barbara and Celine. She doesn't even know yet. She doesn't even know how much that's going to suck. It's going to suck the worst. I'd rather just be in the background doing my thing, not having to manage these two babies because Fraser's not going to do it. He's going to put it on her for sure because why wouldn't he? He's going to be too busy, you know. So then we move on. Carrie does the walkthrough. He checks to make sure everything's okay. I really like that Carrie does like a thorough walkthrough. I appreciate a thorough walkthrough. But this one was kind of boring because they did their jobs right. Or so far they've done their jobs right. Then we actually meet the guests, and Celine is chosen to go along, which is good. And she meets the kids, and then she goes in the background and says, or they cut to, the side edit, and she says she doesn't like the baby people. I don't like the baby people. Who does like the baby people? I mean, I guess if they're yours, you like them, but serving baby people is no fun. Well, I don't know. I love to serve the baby people. I'm lying. I love kids so much, and I love serving kids. And I even like when they make a big mess. When they make a big mess, because I don't have kids, I don't have to clean up after kids all the time. And I think that parents are stuck cleaning after these kids all the time. I like to be able to contribute. They say it takes a village to raise a baby. If I can help by cleaning up the floor of your messy kid, then I am happy to do that because I know moms have so much going on. Moms and dads have so much that they have to deal with. If I can help sweep a floor or wipe a table to make your life easier, believe me, I'm very happy to do that. And honestly, when you've been in the industry long enough, your kids that you serve, as long as you don't move too many places, you watch them grow up, and it's super fun. And eventually you even get to work with them sometimes, and that's fun. So I make jokes when I say I don't like the baby people, but I do like the baby people. But I get it also. I also get it because I am a server, and the baby people can be a lot to deal with. So they do the walk around, and they really want to, or the guests are checking out the rooms, and they keep mentioning this black light. They want to shine everything. They want to shine this black light on every single surface they can find. Where is the black light? They get distracted by drinks and other things, but the black light thing keeps coming up. And so far, we haven't seen a black light. So then some food comes out. This was my other favorite part of the episode. This guest, I love him so much. Oh my God. So the food comes out. What we know about this guy is he has a black light and he doesn't like anything but, well, he likes other food, but he likes his steak well done. Chef guy serves a steak tartare. The absolute opposite of steak well done is steak tartare, and they're serving steak tartare. Not only do they serve steak tartare, they serve this like sea bass with a Virgin Mary foam. Virgin Mary foam. What does the guest say? Gross. Gross. It's what we're all thinking. That's gross, man. This guy likes, he wants a well done steak. You don't serve him steak tartare with a Virgin Mary foam on some fish. Like Virgin Mary foam? How does that not sound gross to everybody? I don't even think it's a real thing. Like, it's not a food thing that I've ever heard of. It's not like a classic, like Waldorf salad or something, Virgin Mary foam. Comment if it's a real thing in restaurant land. Please comment and tell me what it is and tell me the ingredients to it, because in my entire experience of working and going to restaurants, I have never heard of such a thing. I think it's a made up thing because this guy's a born again Christian and he needs to work on his like made up things because that sounds gross. And the guest is right. And he told him, we watched this so many times. We ended up rewinding this part and laughing like, I don't know, 7 times or so. So that, I think him saying gross was definitely my number one of the show. All the baby stews fight is my next thing. And of course, we're looking for the black light. We're looking for the black light. There's no black light. Why is there no black light? Because there's no luggage. Because the dumb bosun, maybe not dumb bosun, the too busy bosun left the luggage at the dock. Now, It is the first charter, so I will give some grace for first day, you know, F ups. First day F ups. What else are you doing? I mean, he said he was too busy, but what else are you doing? Your crew is downstairs, like eating Pringles and hanging out. You're upstairs just like walking back and forth. Like the only thing that you do is get the cast and get the luggage. Like it goes in that order. It's very predictable what everybody's tasks on deck should be. So the fact that they don't have the luggage and nobody's like, why aren't I putting away luggage right now? Seems pretty idiotic. And honestly, Jess didn't even pick up on that ball. So maybe this this to me screams of production. I have a feeling production made this little hiccup happen. The solution for it was super easy. We're just going to, radio the dock and get them to bring a tender with the luggage over. In the meantime, this luggage is just sitting at the end of the dock we're supposed to leave, unsecured. Nothing went missing. I don't know. It has the gives me the impression that production was highly involved in the forgetting of the luggage, if you know what I mean. And if they weren't, then the bosun guy needs to get a handle on what he's doing because clearly Jess is going to take your job, sir. That's what's going to happen. Too much happening. Okay, so now we get finally the luggage comes. The tender brings the luggage. My guy gets his black light, which is fantastic because now we can go shine it on stuff. And how disappointing was it that we only found icky stuff on the plugs, which, at least we found it somewhere. So now they have to clean the icky stuff off of the plugs. By plugs, I mean switches, like lights on, off, and whatever. So that was dirty, but nothing else was dirty. So that's kind of a letdown. But I wonder what it's like if you're a germaphobe who relies on a black light until you get that black light and you see that there's nothing around. Like, are you constantly like picturing yourself in like a murder scene or like the set of a porn film or something? Do you just think like stuff is everywhere and until you like have the proof of a black light, you can't live in ease? That's my question. I feel like that must be what it's like. And now I a little bit want a black light, to be honest. Not because I can't live like, I mean, I can live just fine. I'm sitting on a beach full of who knows what. I need a black light to see. But I think it would be fun. And I also think it would be fun as a cleaner if you had a black light, it would be easy to see like what's gross still. So I live on the fence of the black light. I thought I was going to be like, oh, this guy's a, picky customer, blah, blah, blah. I'm a little bit team black light guy. It might be because he called that food gross though. So I will say that. Somebody saying something food is gross right to the chef's face when I agree that it's gross. Love it. Love it. Okay. Oh my God. So Fraser reminds the chef again about the well done steak thing. We've already lived through the steak tartare. They didn't complain about that and send it back. So that happens. Then Kyle and Ko, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get his name right soon. They go for a smoke and talk about how busy they are and blah, blah, blah. And so far they've forgotten the luggage and they've been hanging out doing nothing. So I don't know what they're busy doing. I will give some grace to the fact that maybe we don't see everything and maybe everything's being cut in a certain way. But to me, they're busy talking about being busy and not much more than that. So we see the guests, they get their food. The kids get chicken strips and fries, which is like the most boring thing kids can order, especially when you're on a yacht with a private chef and your kid is ordering chicken strips with fries. Like, I know kids are picky. I would encourage your kids to just try other things. Have the chicken strips on fries like there as well. But like get your kids to eat other stuff. They're little human beings that need to develop a palate. They're never gonna be adventurous eaters if they don't start young. And honestly, part of the life experience is eating great food. Just as much as you want to see different places, you want to eat different foods. Give that to your kids too. Your culinary dining experiences don't begin at 20. They begin as soon as you begin eating. So, those are my thoughts on that. I will reserve judgment because I am not a mom. I'm a stepmom and my stepdaughters were fairly fussy eaters, but I don't know. I feel like I don't have authority to give mom advice, but I will say, just as a person in the hospitality industry, just let them try it. Just get them to try it. Maybe they'll like it, maybe they don't. You guys know your kids more than me. I'll stop about the kids, whatever. I just really feel passionately about everybody fulfilling their life goals, and eating good food is one of my life goals. So assume that it's yours too. Maybe it's not. So, and Fraser reminds the chef again that the steaks have to be well done. And of course, the steaks come out not well done. And you can really see it's not well done. It's not even a medium well, it's a medium. It's a medium finish. So, and everybody's steak came out about like that. And I'm wondering, does everybody have to have a well done steak just because this guy wants a well done steak? And they end up sending them all back, not because they're not well done, but they also say they're tough. And I've got news for you. If you're eating a well done steak, it's going to be tough. If you're eating, I mean, I bet it's a really good cut of meat. So I'm surprised that they were tough. And I kind of wonder if they were tough, but they didn't look tough to me. They looked beautiful. Honestly, this guy's food looks amazing. But like, you're never gonna like, if somebody told me if I was a yacht chef and I could make anything that I wanted based on a preference sheet, and somebody said that they like their steaks well done, I would probably just avoid serving steak. Like, that is an option. There's other food out there. You don't have to serve steak to people who like their steak well done. And if you do, serve it well done. These people are paying a fortune. You're not eating it. People should get to eat what they want. So anyway, they all went back. No shock there. I thought these people were really nice about the send back. I think that everybody sending them back might have been a little bit dramatic, but the guy wasn't a jerk. And he should have been. I mean, if you could be a jerk, they said it so many times, and he reminded them himself a bunch of times. So to get that one wrong was I don't know, to me it seemed like a bit of a big deal. So of course, because the food all went back, the chef is freaking out, and of course he's up all night freaking out. Everybody goes to bed, he's up tossing and turning, and finally he gets out of bed at 5 a.m. to begin his day after tossing and turning all night. The chefs on these yachts, I mean, they have it worse than anybody. They are serving from morning till night. So I hope they get a nap in. I also wonder on below deck if there is some type of like food prep situation that we just don't see. Because to me, I don't know how you're doing this. I find it questionable. I definitely suspect that there's a food prep situation in the background, but I don't know. Do you guys know? If you know, tell me. I'd love to know. Do they have people secretly prepping food, or do they have a second chef? I know that there's a second boat. I don't know. To me, it's always just been a little bit suspect that they're all of this pressure. I mean, in the meantime, the people that are cleaning rooms and stuff, there's a bunch of them. We have 3 ladies making drinks, and we've got one guy in charge of all the food for the whole time. It just doesn't seem very balanced. So I wonder that every time I watch Below Deck. Anyway, so he freaks out. He talks to the camera again, and we end it with he might quit and he might not be back. No surprise there, but we'll see. First of all, do you think he's going to be back? I kind of don't think he's going to be back. I think we're going to see him get, quit whatever in the first scene, and I think we're going to get a new chef on. I wonder who the chef is going to be. I really hope it's a chef from the past. And I don't know if I'm making this up or if I saw a trailer. Like, maybe this is a big time spoiler, but I feel like because I don't know, I'm just speculating. So I'm going to say it anyway. I think Chef Ben might be coming back. Is that true? I hope so. I love Chef Ben. I love Chef Ben. So I hope I'm right. I hope this guy, well, I'm not that I hope that this guy leaves, because I mean, honestly, the dynamic between all of these people and a born again Christian, I mean, I could watch a born again Christian all day long because I think it's entertaining. So I hope he doesn't leave. I suspect he's going to leave. My hit list is chef goes, then bosun goes, and then Celine baby's chief stew or baby stew goes. I keep calling her chief stew by mistake. Baby stew goes. Now, my thoughts on Baby Stew going, I don't think they're going to fire somebody who's that great with reality TV. She's a great watch. She's entertaining. Even if she sucks at her job, I don't think they're going to let her go. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, you guys, Thank you so much for watching. This is my first reality recap show. If you want to learn how to do resin, I'm going to be doing a resin art series as well because I'm a resin artist. I've got a video already posted about how to dry flowers, daisies, and buttercups if you want to check that out. Here I am. I'm going to go swimming now, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Below Deck Season 12, Episode 1 recap done. Episode 2, I don't know when that's going to happen. If you want to tune into my channel, I'm going to be covering reality, like Real Housewives of Miami for sure. Not quite sure what else. I'm trying to stick to all of the stuff that's new because I'm new. Like to jump in and talk about Sister Wives after it's already done, I'm not sure about. And I really love Polyfamily, but that's also done. So that'll be coming in the future. I'm definitely gonna, if Sister Wives is out there to cover, I will be covering it. If Polyfamily is out there to cover, I will be covering it. I'll cover all of the housewives from the Bravo network. I don't think I'm gonna go rogue into the other ones. But if there's anything you guys want me to watch or recap, just let me know. Right? Comment, send me a DM, do all the things. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to hit subscribe. Tell your friends about my channel if they're into reality TV or if they're into resin